Well, we're probably looking at an outcome, a de facto outcome, where different ethnic and or sectarian communities control key areas. The will control the coastal region. The Kurds will control at least parts of northeast Syria. And then various Sunni communities will control the main cities and various rural areas. Now, whether they go to war with each other or whether they find a coexistence with each other will be influenced very definitely, for good or for bad, by external powers. In other words, external powers can help push and shove and cajole all these different communal groupings towards the table to negotiate with each other and find some kind of reasonable coexistence. But if each external power instead tries to arm its own perceived ally in order to help it succeed against the other communities, then that will be a recipe for war. I'll add finally that the other perspective I can foresee is that rather than just looking at large sort of regional cantons, we may also be looking at the rise of each city, each main city. I'm thinking of Damascus, Homs, maybe Hama, but also Aleppo, the top three major cities of Syria that have dominated Syrian politics since independence, that provided the originally the top officer corps of the Syrian army and so on, and where the top business people come from. These cities have always been in rivalry with each other. And ironically, the fall of the Bashar al-Assad regime may revive the old rivalry between these three cities, which are mainly Sunni dominated, and where, once again, cliques of army officers, cliques of businessmen will revolve around these cities and their immediate rural area in order to compete with each other. That doesn't have to mean a war, but I just want to say that Syria's dynamics have always been far more complex than simply pro democracy against authoritarianism or Sunni Muslim against Alawi Muslim, etc. Balkanization, there might be a de facto Balkanization that has always been there, or at least has been there during the entirety of the civil war. But this Balkanization does not have to be formalized. We're not talking about separate states. I don't think that is on the cards for various reasons. And I think that it may instead prompt Syrians to accept that Syria has to allow far more decentralization and local autonomy, not necessarily political autonomy as such, but of a degree of cultural autonomy, of economic autonomy, call it initiative if you like, um, so that different communities feel that they are part of Syria with other communities rather than always in competition for resources and for access. Think of it more as, I don't know, Wales, England, Northern Ireland, and Scotland in the United Kingdom, which, despite various tensions and independent movements, remains far more united. Think of it that way: a Syria that is, separate regions that have their own identity but are part of one country. I don't see any reason why we can't think of Syria in that way. So Balkanization then is not really Balkanization. It's not even something like Bosnia Herzegovina, where you have three presidents representing different communities and in effect paralyzing decision making. I think that Syria can come up with a formula that allows for a single unitary federal uh, presidency or foreign policy decision-making process and defense process with a lot of autonomy for local protection, local security, for local taxation, for local investment strategies, and so on. There's Syria has been like this in the past. It has been like this for the last 13 years. Turkish influence in the north in the economy is powerful. Jordan in the south is important. Access for Syria to the Gulf, Iraq in the east. I mean, this is all part of the Syrian mix, and there's no reason why this can't become a positive factor in the future.